can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
All right, welcome back to the second half. We're still working on the audio. I think we're making some progress. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. We're in the first minute of the third quarter, and Franklin Simpson leads at 35-19. And Franklin Simpson will bring the ball up court. Again, we're kind of trying to do a little bit of things here at once. Mike Cleff along with Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. And we're going to get a 3-second call there on Franklin Simpson, so the Lady Dragons will get the ball. The boys' game to follow between the Dragons of Warren Central and the Wildcats, Franklin Simpson. As Warren Central kicks it over to Jordan Downey. Her three-point attempt is off the mark. The ball goes out of bounds off the Lady Wildcats. Warren Central will retain possession. And the inbounds pass, the basket, not quite. And here come the Lady Wildcats, and they've got a 3-on-2. And the layup, no, but they're there for the rebound, and Franklin Simpson will get the ball out of bounds.
It's delayed. She says it's all good.
So, want to say hello to a number of people, but one in particular, someone that Steve Sanders knows very well, and that's Laura Sanders. That would be Steve's wife. And Laura is a kindergarten teacher at Cumberland Trace, and we appreciate her checking in with us. And she's actually been working with us to see how the audio is working, where she's trying to pick up the live stream on her computer at the Sanders household. So, hello, Laura Sanders. Jordan Downey for Warren Central penetrates, but Franklin Simpson there with the defensive stop, and here come the Lady Wildcats as the ball goes out of bounds, and Warren Central will get it back. It's 36-19. Franklin Simpson leading Warren Central with 6:13 to go in the third quarter. Warren Central breaks the full court press. That's Jordan Downey's shot. No good. But the Lady Dragons hustle to get the offensive rebound, and they get it inside. Nice turnaround, but it's blocked. Nice block by the Lady Wildcats. And here comes Franklin Simpson again. The drive and the shot, good. Rims around and goes in. Anaya Brown there, nicely done by the Lady Wildcats. It's 38-19. As the Lady Wildcats have been impressive in this game tonight. The shot there by Kennedy Robinson, a little bit short, and here comes Franklin Simpson. And the shot there, no good, but they've got the offensive rebound and the putback. Hadley Turner with the hoop. 40-19, Franklin Simpson. As Warren Central Lady Dragons, nice drive and hoop there. Kennedy Robinson with the drive and the hoop, and it's 40-21. Nice drive and hoop there by the Lady Wildcats. Laylee Partinger with the basket. It's 42-21. Franklin Simpson leading Warren Central. We have 4:27 to go in the third quarter. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. You can check us out at PrepSpin.com. Again, we're working on the audio here.
Foul charge to Franklin Simpson, number 4, Anaya Brown. Her second.
We'll get it figured out, and hey, we know what we want for Christmas now. That's good audio. We're working on it. So Warren Central will inbounds the ball. They'll inbound it. And that's Downey. Going to have a nice crowd here tonight. The boys' game to follow. As the shot attempt by Warren Central, no. And they're going to get a foul on the Lady Dragons, so Franklin Simpson will take over possession.
Should you be on a delay, like a couple of seconds?
Yeah.
All right, then we're good.
Yep. We should.
Because I'm hearing you say it's 42 to 21.
Yep. Steve Sanders asking a couple of questions there about it. It is 44-21 after the basket by Partinger. 3:35 to go in the third quarter. Franklin Simpson has led this game from the start. Again, the effort by the Lady Dragons good, and there's Kennedy Robinson with the three ball. And it's 44-24. Tell you what, Steve Sanders, his beverage of choice is a Diet Coke, and he said he brought a second Diet Coke. And I think that Steve's going to be enjoying that real soon. It's going to come in handy. He's earned it. As Franklin Simpson gets another hoop. And it is now
Traveling violation called on Warren Central.
they're going to get Warren Central on the traveling violation, so the Lady Wildcats will take over.
Franklin Simpson, number 15, Chloe Smith.
We'll, I think we've got the audio going good here. And when we get a break here in the action, we'll be ready to go full steam ahead. Thanks for your patience with us.
All right, Mike.
All right.
Believe we're,
Hi, Steve.
I believe we're up. I've been listening to us on the phone.
Yep.
First, we got to deal with the delay from where what I'm hearing you say to what comes on the live stream. But I believe we are back up. And I apologize to the ladies playing tonight. I hate that we had such a delay with their game, but hopefully we'll have it fixed moving forward.
Well, Steve, you obviously have been able to check out this game. Franklin Simpson's just been dominant from start to finish. I don't think the Lady Dragons have played poorly. I just think the Lady Wildcats have played that well.
Yeah, and I apologize. I won't be able to give you much because I haven't seen much of the game.
Sure.
I've seen more of this computer screen than the game. But
Yep.
maybe I'll get to fourth quarter here. We'll switch at the end of the quarter.
It's 46-24. Franklin Simpson leading Warren Central with 1:50 to go in the third quarter.
My wife's at home, and she just texted me that it sounds good. So hopefully that's a thumbs up that everything's worked out. Thanks to William Warfield,
Yep.
as sick as he is, for giving us some pointers on fixing it.
And I said hi to Laura Sanders once. I'll say hi to Laura Sanders again, and I'll echo what you said about William Warfield. Get some honey and hot tea and some chicken soup and get some rest, William. Came back from that long trip to Las Vegas to live stream from basketball there, as Franklin Simpson will go to the free throw line. Steve, we'll get some time here between games. We'll talk about the boys team. It'll be our first look at Warren Central boys basketball. It's their home opener. We talked a little bit about them, but there's no doubt a lot of anticipation about the Dragons, and we'll get into that before the start of the boys game. We'll have some time here between the contests. So they'll go to the free throw line.
Get that feeling where I don't even want to look at the screen or touch anything.
I think anyone, Steve, I just think the only word I have to say is technology, and you can kind of run with your reactions and thoughts on that. Yeah.
The scary thing is we don't do anything different when we set up from game to game and the ghost in the machine shows up.
Yeah, that's the truth. Second free throw is no good. So with a minute to go in the third quarter, the Lady Dragons are trailing 46-24. And once again, Franklin Simpson with the steal. They've got numbers. Basket, no. Follow, and they'll go to the line for two free throws.
Mike, what's the big word I feel like I've used over and over this season?
Turnovers. Yep.
Turnovers.
And the other thing is, Steve, is that Franklin Simpson has really taken advantage of those turnovers, and they've gotten out on the break, and then they've just dominated on the offensive boards. A lot of second and third chances. Well, Steve, we'll keep it here. We've got a game here. We'll talk more. Why are you looking forward to watching this Warren Central boys basketball team?
Well, we know they beat Barron County, and we saw Barron County on Friday just dominate Warren East most of the game. And we talked then that we'd like to take a peek at a team that had beaten Barron County as good as they look. And we're going to get a look at that tonight with Warren Central because they're one of the two teams that beat Barron County.
Steve, one of the premier players on Warren Central is Cade Unseld, of course, the son of William Unseld. And I'd love to get your perspective as Warren Central gets the hoop and the foul. They'll go there for a three-point play. But, Steve, Cade Unseld attended Lost River Elementary when you were an administrator there. And what was he like as an elementary school student there, Steve? And are you surprised at how he's gone on to wonderful things as a student athlete in high school?
Not a bit, doggone it. He was already bigger than me when he was in elementary school. That's the worst part. He was taller than I was, but great kid, not surprised at all. I can remember Warren Central going to the state tournament. Cade would be going with him when he was still in elementary school, not as a player, but just to experience it with his dad and the team. And so, he just knows that feeling. He knows what it takes to win. It was a good shot there right at the end, just a little bit off.
What was it like when he interacted with you, Steve? I'm sure he was extremely polite and respectful.
Yeah, he's very quiet. He wasn't talking all the time. He was just very quiet, conservative, but a great kid. Great kid.
All right, let's catch you up here. We had some audio problems. We're gonna have a midcourt honorary thing here.
Central's Omari Glover.
And congratulations to Omari Glover. And Steve, we'll sidetrack there for a moment. The job, Omari Glover was on a Warren Central team that won 5 games. And I'm telling you, if I had to vote for Coach of the Year, I'd vote for Mark Nelson.
Absolutely.
What he and his staff have done. Of course, they snapped a 61-game losing streak. They go 5-5 in the regular season. They get to play in a postseason game. And they're not done. I mean, they're going in the right direction now.
Right. They've got something to build off of. That's going to get more players on the team. That's going to get those players excited. And, it'll be interesting to see what they do from here. All right, let's switch. We'll switch.
You got it. We'll switch
now.
Yep, sounds good, Steve.
I have to admit, though, it's kind of nice. I was sitting and watching the game without looking through a viewfinder, Mike, and you were running the camera. I might get spoiled doing that.
Yeah.
We might not ever get a commercial because I'd be afraid to touch it. But,
Steve, there's a movie that I loved with Clint Eastwood in it called Heartbreak Ridge.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a line in the movie, improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah.
And I think we've been dealing with that tonight. And so anyway, just to catch you up on this game, Franklin Simpson has never trailed in the game. Caitlin McAllister, who hit a couple of early shots. The Lady Wildcats have been impressive defensively on the boards. And, again, I kind of feel like to attach a string to Steve, and every time we pull the string, he says turnovers. And it's true. Franklin Simpson's forced a lot of turnovers by Warren Central. So
this is a much better Franklin effort than we saw when we saw them at South Warren last week. They really couldn't get a basket to fall that night. It didn't seem till the very end of regulation. I remember McAllister took lots of three-pointers that night, and doesn't seem like she hit one. But they seem to have found their range tonight.
You're absolutely right. And Steve, that game you referred that we did, the game at South Warren last Friday, credit to South Warren because I thought Franklin Simpson had him on the ropes. They had him down 9, and South Warren managed to basically weather the storm, got back into it, tied it, of course, sent it to overtime, sent it to a double overtime, and hit a big shot late. And Gracie Hodges was big on the defensive boards. And you're right, though, Steve. Franklin Simpson has raised their level play to a much higher level tonight compared to what we saw just 4 nights ago. Ball goes out of bounds. So Franklin Simpson's led this game start to finish, and barring something completely out of the blue, Franklin Simpson's going to win this game. They lead by 22 with 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Real quick, you can watch us on PrepSpin.com. You can go to the PrepSpin Facebook, Twitter pages. You can go to Roku or Fire Stick TV, look for PrepSpin. You can also go to our website, warrencountyschools.org, or go to our collaborator, WBKO.com, and look for the PrepSpin link there under the sports page. So Warren Central, they have on the court right there the basket by Kennedy Robinson. They have Ada Akhmadova in the ball game, as we're going to get a foul, and Franklin Simpson will get free throws. Jalea Bailey's in the game for the Lady Dragons, along with Jordan Downey and Hannah Bailey.
Foul charge to Warren Central, number 35, Jalea Bailey.
So we have 5:49 to go in the game.
Turner at the line.
I'll tell you what, Steve, getting back to the boys team, the one thing, and this is something that excites me, Coach Unseld has been praising his team's unselfishness so far early in the game and the number of assists his team has. And I love unselfish basketball. Absolutely love it. And that's one of the many reasons I'm looking forward to seeing the Dragons boys team tonight. It's now 51-29 with 5.5 minutes to go in the contest. I want to thank our sponsors, Med Center Health, UK Health, and Mingy Beef Jerky. Looks like we got a timeout. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
For Promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom!
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School. We're just a little over 5 minutes left in the game as Franklin Simpson hits another basket. They go 53-29. Steve, I was going to ask a favor of you here, and I know you're running the camera, but it's about the Warren Central head coach Anthony Hickey. And I preface this with, I know you've been busy with burying your head in a laptop, but I just think the world of Coach Hickey. he doesn't act like a coach that's down by 24, now 22 as they get the layup. He's still teaching, he's still coaching, he's encouraging. And I think this is a Warren Central team as Franklin Simpson hits a three. He's not out of control on the sideline, Steve, and I think that's really impressive.
Not.
And I think that sends a very good message.
Just a tough game right now.
Yeah. You know, and Steve, again, you've been busy. Unlike the game we saw the other night, Franklin Simpson's hit some outside shots.
Right.
Not just McAllister, but we just saw right there. And now head coach Ashley Taylor is subbing in. And with 4:11 to go in the game, she's got a second 5 in.
What they used to say at UK, the next wave.
The next wave, I like that, yeah. Steve, strictly as a fan, where does basketball rank as a sport for you to watch?
You know, of course, football will always be my number one. I love football. I love to watch it. Wish the season was 12 months a year. But I love high school and college basketball. I have to admit, I'm probably not the biggest NBA fan, but I like the team-oriented aspect of high school and college. I enjoy watching it.
You know, Steve, I will say this. The one thing I do love about high school and college is when it gets late in the season, in the postseason, it's one and done after district play in high school. And I just love basically the survive and advance situation. It's 56-31, 3:45 to go. Franklin Simpson in control against Warren Central. Anthony Hickey still coaching these Lady Dragons. That's a great thing to see. He's just a great guy. I always enjoy visiting with him. And he knows he's got some work to do, and they'll get better. 3-point attempt, good. Again, Steve, they're hitting the three-pointers tonight.
We weren't seeing any of that last week at South Warren.
Nope. Congratulations. Between the third and fourth quarter, they honored Omari Glover for his football play this past season. Of course, Omari is a key player on this Dragons basketball team. And again, congratulations to the Dragons football team on their 5-win season. Keep in mind, they hadn't won a game since 2015 before this season. And Coach Mark Nelson and his coaching staff have done just a phenomenal job. And those young men that persevered, you couldn't be happier for them. Again, Steve, I want to ask you about someone. I thanked him for the hospitality. I think the world of this guy, and I think the world of the athletic director here, Jason Esters. And I want to ask you about the principal here, Joey Norman, Steve, and what you think of him.
Great guy.
Yeah,
Joey's a great guy. I knew him when he was the assistant principal here, and I was the assistant principal in the district. And he got the job here. He does a phenomenal job. He's a kid's principal. He's a teacher's principal. Just enjoyed talking to him. Hadn't talked to him in quite a while. When I retired at the end of June, then it kind of disconnects me from a lot of people. So this has given me the opportunity to chat with some old friends, and Joey I certainly would count as one of those.
That's the thing I've noticed about Steve. He's all about the students. He truly cares about them, doesn't he?
He does.
And not only that, I'll tell you what, I cannot remember a high school principal with a better beard than Joey Norman.
He does. Yep. Now, the one thing I really like about Joey is, if I'm not mistaken, I might count myself as taller than him, but not by much.
All right. Steve Sanders, Mike Cleff, and again, you heard how Steve has known Joey Norman for a long time. And I deal with the athletic director, Jason Esters, who's just an awesome guy to work with, and just makes us feel like we're part of Dragons and Lady Dragons Nation. So the thing that I say to Coach Hickey and the Lady Dragons players, keep playing hard. Their effort's been good. And once again, as Steve's mentioned.
You don't need me to say it, right, Mike?
You don't need to. But you can say it if you want to.
Another turnover's going to hurt.
Yep. We'll keep it here with 1:26 to go. And Franklin Simpson with a 66-31 lead. They've substituted. They put their entire team in. So Coach Taylor is certainly.
We can't discount that too. Coach Hickey just doesn't have a very deep bench at all. He's got 4 players, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, sitting over on the bench.
Yeah.
So his starters are going to be playing a lot of ball.
Yep. And obviously, Steve, fatigue enters into that.
Right.
And that's good coaching by Franklin Simpson to extend that pressure defense and wear out the Warren Central players.
Fatigue equals turnovers.
Yes. So here's a 3-point attempt by Warren Central off the mark, and Franklin Simpson gets the rebound. We're under a minute to go. We'll finish this game up, and we'll take a brief break, and then Steve and I will talk Warren Central boys basketball. After that, as the Dragons are off to a 4-0 start this season, coming off a season last year where they went 29-4 and went all the way to the Sweet 16 championship game where they were just 1 point short in the championship game. And this is a team that is definitely a strong contender once again in boys basketball in the entire state. And also get to see one of our favorite head coaches in William Unseld. Steve jokes about his lack of height, and one thing that I don't think Steve wants to do is get a picture next to William Unseld.
I don't want. If he comes up here, I'm going to sit down in a chair.
We'll talk more about that. 16 seconds left. Lady Wildcats with a pair of free throws.
Or I'm going to stand up in the bleachers and pretend I'm not.
Steve, the one thing, and you're a native of this community. The history of athletics at Warren Central, to say that it's strong is an understatement.
Rich history.
Oh my goodness. The name of this court, Tim Riley Court. He was honored here last year. He still comes back and plays in the game. He's now the head coach at Owensboro Catholic. And it's really cool to see the close relationship that Coach Riley has maintained with George Fant, a standout basketball player here, who also played basketball at WKU and then played a season of football at WKU, and now he's a starting offensive lineman with the New York Jets.
Wow, that season of football at WKU was pretty valuable, wasn't it?
Oh, it sure was. And, of course, the tie-in here to Franklin Simpson is George's wife, Chastity, played basketball at Franklin Simpson and then WKU. Chastity Gooch. Of course, Chastity Gooch fan. So we have a final score here, 66-31. Franklin Simpson defeats Warren Central. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We will take a quick timeout, and Steve and I will be back to talk about the boys basketball matchup.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
Thanks, man. No problem.
What's wrong with these?
I'll give you a heads up.
I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Plenty of time. One to get you on during football, and I know a
Kids
lot of times you're
deserve
working
the space to
concessions, so
grow, to play, to explore.
little less than
And if they
30
get
seconds.
sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible. with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
All right, welcome back to Warren Central High School. Joining us, you don't see him on camera, but you'll hear him. One of my absolute favorite people. This guy's awesome, the athletic director at Warren Central, Jason Esters. Jason, thanks again for the hospitality.
Thank you for coming and representing or letting our kids represent Warren County, and you getting the spotlight on them. It means a lot to us, and it means a lot to those boys out there and the girls that just finished up. Any type of exposure they get, Mike, we appreciate it. And got really good kids, and they deserve to be seen, and they always represent us with pride and respect, so that's a great thing.
Well, Jason, before we talk sports-wise, Steve Sanders has known Joey Norman, your principal here at the high school, for a long time. Man, what a great guy, and I could tell your rapport with Joey Norman is fantastic, and he just seems like he truly cares, like you, he truly cares about the students.
Yeah, he's the most down-to-earth person I've ever worked for.
Yep.
Warren Central guy through and through, and that's what you got to have. Like I said, the best possible principal for this school, just because of the way he interacts with the students. And his kids have gone through, and both of them are, one's graduated, one's fixing to graduate. So he's a Warren Central guy through and through, and a great boss to all of us.
Got to talk about your football season. Congratulations. And I tell you right now, if I had a vote for the coach of the year in the entire state, it's Mark Nelson, hands down. And I think the only debate is who gets more credit, Coach Nelson and the coaching staff, or for those student athletes, and Jason, especially those seniors. What character.
Yeah, and it took a while for them to buy in, Mike, but they finally bought into each other. Coach Nelson, when he came in, was selling his product. Obviously won the hiring committee over, and we felt he was the best fit for us. Last year, his first year, didn't pick up a win. There were things that happened that I don't know you could make up, some ways that we lost games. But like you said, those seniors stuck it out, persevered, and it was just a different mindset for the whole offseason. And that first game, the first game was a little bit ugly, not going to lie. Both teams looked like they didn't really want to win the game. Our kids did enough, held on the ball when they had to. But there were a few wins during the year that were convincing. We're getting our first district win in several years over Allen County. Kind of catapulted us there mid-season and picked up a good win over Russell County. And excited for those kids more than anything. But Coach Nelson and his staff, what they've done day in, day out, it's difficult to do when you're losing. To go back and just keep that same bar, that standard that you hold. And they did that, and it finally came to fruition for them this year. And I know they're already preparing for the off-season or preparing for next year, getting ready to start their off-season workouts again. Luckily, he's got a weightlifting class with him, so he sees those guys every day already, but fixing to start bringing the middle school guys up and seeing what they can do to replace that senior class.
The girls' basketball game, Jason, obviously not the result you wanted, but I'm going to tell you something. That I just saw again tonight why I am an Anthony Hickey fan.
Yeah.
He's coaching. He's not screaming, not yelling. He's teaching. He's doing things. And you know what? If I had a daughter, I would want her to play for him. I think he is a terrific coach and a terrific representative of Lady Dragons Nation. Jason, the only thing I'll guarantee, that team's going to get better as the season goes on.
And he does a great job. Hats off to Franklin Simpson.
Oh, they were great.
Ashley does a great job. Ashley Taylor does a great job. I was talking to Coach Wilhite down there on the end, talking about how good of a job she does. And, you said it, and even Coach Unsworth said it. I've heard him talking about it. He said, I don't know if I'm coaching as hard as Coach Hickey. It doesn't matter if we're up by 35 or down by 35. He coaches the same way the entire time. And the kids feed into that. They kind of ended our winning streak. We won a couple in a row. They've been playing well lately. They work hard. Of course, our numbers are low, but that's going to come with the success. Again, getting to know Coach Hickey and those girls understand how much he cares for them. And same thing with Coach Nelson. That bar that he sets for them, they got to get up to where he's at, and they're going to get there. They're going to get there, and he's going to help push them to get them up there. And like I said, I feel like we got some of the best coaches in the area with some of the things that we have to, the hurdles that we have to overcome, I'll take our coaches up against anybody.
Well,
coaches and kids got the best.
And I'll tell you what, I completely agree with you. And Jason, you know, the theme, there's some similarities with Coach Hickey and Coach Nelson. Meanwhile, with Coach Unseld, it's a whole different animal. Now we get onto the side of expectations. And that season last year, magical, special, sensational. And you know, now you're around here, you know the excitement. You know William Unseld.
Yeah.
If anybody knows how to handle this, it's him. And you see him firsthand. Why is he such a good coach?
We're the underdog every game.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
That's how they practice. That's how they play. That's how they coach. We're the underdogs. And to be honest with you, of course, we lost Jaden Lawrence last year. Was the only senior that we lost off that team.
He was a good player.
He was a good player, and he's having a good, had a successful year so far in college. But these kids have got a target on their back, and they played well. They played up to the billing so far, and they're probably going to stumble somewhere along the way. But that's going to be a test to them to see how they bounce back. Like I said, it's kind of like I told him back when UK was rolling. Everybody got UK that played UK brought their A game. We got to bring our A-plus game every time to have a chance to win it. We've been playing well. I know Cade's been out a couple of games. Looks like he's warming up, so he may be playing tonight. But, again, that's a testament to the kids and the coaches out there. Without Cade out on the floor, we're still playing well enough to beat top teams in the state. Won up Bardstown this past weekend without Cade, who was one of our starters, and still beat the top 10 team out of Western. So the character those guys show and the toughness is unbelievable.
I'm going to leave you with this, and you're the timing for you to bring you on. We're talking with Warren Central Athletic Director Jason Esters. The other three athletic directors in the school district, Dan Dillingham at Greenwood, we've talked with him. Brandon Combs at Warren East, we've talked with him. Jeffrey Ashby, the first-year athletic director at South Warren. We're still waiting to get him on, so you're the third one. But last Friday we had the former AD at South Warren and Greenwood on, Nick Lowe. So I can tell you, Brandon during interviews, Nick Lowe, and also Dan Dillingham just raved about you. And the thing I can tell with this sports network is you, Jeffrey, Brandon, and Dan. The respect is enormous. You guys all do great jobs, and I'm sure that's got to be a real bonus that you work with three athletic directors in the school district. I know you respect the heck out of it. Yeah,
and I know Calvin's not in our school district, but he's another one that we like.
Calvin Head at Bowling Green, good guy.
Great guy. We had our district basketball had some things we need to work out. We met the other day and had good fellowship for about an hour and a half talking through things. But within the Warren County District, you can't ask for a better group of guys. Like I said, we may not see eye to eye on everything all the time, but at the end of the day, we're smiling, laughing, cutting up with each other, and we understand we're all trying to defend our schools and do what's best for our schools. I just spent the weekend with Coach Combs down at the National Conference in Nashville, so we had some good times together and some stories that we can bring back. But we miss Coach Combs and Warren East. They moved over to the 15th, so we miss them being down here in the 14th with us. But the district ADs, man, they've done a great job. Like I said, us bouncing ideas off of each other and working with each other, and great group of mentors to me.
Well, Jason, you're tremendous. Steve and I appreciate all the work you put in. I know you're a busy guy.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome, and the hospitality here is fantastic. And again, please pass along our thanks to Joey Norman. He's tremendous as well. And every time I've had experiences with the Dragons and Lady Dragons, tremendous. So good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate it, Mike. Again, thank you for everything you do for Warren County sports.
You got it. Thank you very much. Jason Esters, the athletic director at Warren Central. He's a busy guy. Appreciate him taking the time here. And Steve Sanders, we are between games right now. We've got about 10 minutes before the start of the second game. Steve, that was kind of an impromptu, getting Jason Esters on for a few minutes, and appreciate the time there. So Steve's putting on the headset, and I don't think Steve I got to explain this. When I saw Steve in the parking lot tonight to bring in the equipment, I said, "How's it been today?" And Steve said it's been a crazy day, and I said, well, hopefully tonight will be relaxing, and those are the dumbest words I offered. So, Steve, let's talk more about Warren Central boys basketball. Here's the thing, Steve, and Jason Esters talked about it. The target on Warren Central's back, and I don't know if you heard him say, I said, what makes William Unseld such a good coach? And he said, because he convinces those players we're the underdog every game.
Right.
That's not easy, and that says a lot about him. And
not
Steve,
only is it not easy, it's probably far from the truth.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and so, Steve, again, we've talked about this. He's just you said his family's basketball royalty, which is a good way to put it. But again, he's he just has a great feel on how to treat the players. But again, Steve, what are you most curious about seeing tonight from Warren Central boys basketball? It could be anything, a player, a style of ball, or whatever.
Yeah,
what are you curious about?
I'm curious to see their style of play tonight. We saw Franklin Simpson the other night. I wondered if it would be when they played at South Warren, I wondered if it would be a physical matchup. It wasn't, so it'll be interesting to see if we're going to have a track meet, if we're going to have a lot of set offenses, is it going to be physical? We're going to see a lot of fouls, or we're going to see, I'm anxious to see what we've got here. And they've had a good start to the year. And, this will be a good test for them tonight. Franklin's always a good team, a good measuring stick for you to play against.
Well, both teams go in the locker room. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, part of the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Some characteristics of Coach Unseld's teams. He usually plays. He's got a deep bench, Steve, especially early in the season. He'll go 9 or 10 deep. The other thing is he's obviously had teams in 2019. Skylar Potter, and they had Jordan Cousins. It was a two-man show with some role players in there.
I had both those boys in school when I was at Lost River. Had both of them great kids.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, Steve. My memory of Jordan Cousins. It was a district final game, and it was against Bowling Green, the championship game, and both teams were going to advance. And Jordan Cousins ended up with 48, and I think he had a stretch of about 20 of those in a 5-minute span. It was unreal, Steve, and his shots were.
It was another kid that was a foot taller than me when he was in elementary school.
Right.
Great demeanor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, as a fan last year, what do you remember about this Warren Central team last year? I mean, holy cow, they got on a run in the postseason, and then they got on a run at Rupp Arena, and you couldn't come any closer to winning the whole ball of wax than they did.
And that's always hard to do when, listen, when Coach Unseld convinces them that they're the underdog, it's probably a good strategy, but listen, everybody knows what Central brings, and everybody, they got a target on their back every game they play, and listen, they don't play a cupcake schedule. They play tough teams, and to be the old saying, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
One thing I say with confidence, we will see a much better performance tonight from Franklin Simpson than what we saw against South Warren on Friday night. It takes nothing away from South Warren, but Franklin Simpson knows they have to elevate their level of play. Now, will that be enough? We'll see. Warren Central comes in 4-0, Steve. They've, you mentioned Barron County. I believe they beat Barron County by more than 20 points, and we saw Barron County look very impressive against Warren East.
That's a team I asked you if you could shoot more than 100%.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't remember in the first half seeing them miss a shot.
Yes. They had 29 points with a minute to go in the first quarter. So, anyway, we're
not only that, their defense held Warren East to just 5 in that same stretch.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Okay, we're going to take another quick timeout. We'll be back. We're getting close to the tip-off of the boys' game between Warren Central and Franklin Simpson, the home opener for Dragons boys basketball. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
All right. Welcome back to Warren Central High School. We are about 5 minutes away from the tip-off of the boys' game between the Wildcats of Franklin Simpson and the Dragons of Warren Central. Warren Central off to a 4-0 start this season with wins over Barron County, Good Pasture Christian out of Madison, Tennessee, Owensboro, and Western. And one thing, a couple of friends of mine were at the game at Owensboro, and Steve, in the second half, Warren Central was leading in the third quarter by 5, and next thing you know, in the fourth quarter, they were leading by 31. In other words, Warren Central can get on a roll in a hurry. Right. So, Steve, I can't get over. I'm watching Tate Unseld warm up. He wears number 4, and and he's obviously got length. And you said he was that tall in elementary school.
He was tall in elementary school.
Yep. Yeah. So, Steve, I'll ask again. William Unseld, what do you like about him?
Just the way he relates to kids. Coaching and teaching is both about respect and trust. And, he gets his kids they trust him, they respect him, they're kids, they're high-level athletes. They're not always going to like what he says, but if they trust and respect him, they'll do it whether they like it or not. And I think that's what we've seen.
One misconception about Coach Unseld, and it goes away once you get to talk to him. Steve, what do you think Coach Unseld is? 6'6", 6'7" in height?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you'll hear him in the background of our live stream tonight. His voice, not only goes throughout the gym, it'll go out in the parking lot. You'll hear him. But the thing is, so he comes across as, if you just see him, it's like, oh, he's probably really intimidating. He's further from that in person. He's a teddy bear. Yeah. Great guy. And as Steve mentioned,
now, I'm not sure I want to just make fun of him or anything.
No, me neither. Yeah.
I've never seen him be anything but cordial and
wonderful guy.
Wonderful guy to talk to.
Yep. Of course, Franklin Simpson has a longtime coach of their own in Dee Spencer. Dee's done a great job with the Wildcats, and Dee also is very passionate about the game. Him and William Unseld have a really good relationship, a lot of respect for each other, and he's a guy that I've always enjoyed visiting with as well. Wildcats and Lady Wildcats fans brought a lot of fans. They also brought a lot to the South Warren game, so appreciate that. If anyone's arriving at the last minute, make sure to donate to the winter clothes drive. So I'll go silent and listen to the public address announcer.
Wildcats of Franklin Simpson High School and your Warren Central Dragons. And now it's time for your starting lineups. First for the visiting Wildcats of Franklin Simpson High School. Starting at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 1, Gabe Jones. Starting at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 3, Sam Mylor. Starting at guard, a 6'4" senior, number 4, DeMarcus Hogan. Starting at guard, a 5'8" junior, number 10, Gavin Dickerson. And at guard, a 5'10" junior, number 23, O.J. Gamble. The head coach for the Wildcats is Dee Spencer. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Warren Central Dragons. Starting at guard, a 6'5" junior, number 4, Kay Ansel. Starting at guard, a 6'4" senior, number 0, Mar Walker. Starting at guard, a 5'11" senior, number 1, Isaiah Villaforte. Starting at guard, a 6'3" senior, number 13, Omari Glover. And at forward, a 6'4" senior, number 21, Chappelle Whitney. The head coach for your Dragons is Will Unseld.
As you heard, the public address announcer refers to Coach Unseld as Will Unseld. He said you can call him by both. I got too much respect by him, Steve, and I was taught when in doubt, go with the full first name. So I call him William Unseld or Coach Unseld. So anyway, you heard the starting lineup for Warren Central. Demarion Walkup, wears 0. Isaiah Villafuerte wears number 1. Kate Unseld, number 4. Omari Glover, number 13. And Chappelle Whitney, number 21. And we're moments away from the opening tip-off.
Quite a bit of length on Central's side relative to Franklin.
And Steve, another characteristic of a Coach Unseld team, they'll interchange. Like the 1 can play the 5, the 4 can play the 2, and you know where I'm going on that.
Right, they just introduce them as 5 guards.
Yes. And one thing that the Central Dragons will do is they will defend you.
Start out man-to-man.
We're in the opening 30 seconds of the contest.
It's going to be tough on Franklin, the length that Central has out there on the perimeter.
I think you make a great point. Contested 3, no good. Rebound.
Rebounds are also going to be where it's going to be tough.
Yep. Unseld.
When you're 5'10" and you're rebounding against a 6'4" player, it's a tough job.
That sure is. Chappelle Whitney with the opening bucket of the game for the Dragons. That's a great point you make, Steve. So the Dragons strike first in the second game. Franklin Simpson won the first contest over Warren Central, the girls' game 66-41. Here come the Dragons. That's Isaiah Villafuerte. Nice.
Franklin's going to have to be careful.
They sure are.
A couple of turnovers in this game will blow up quick.
Wow. What hands by Omari Glover. Nicely done. There's that unselfishness, Steve.
There's also that length.
Mar Walkup. Demarion's his full name, and his nickname he goes by is Mar. Yeah, Steve talks about the Dragons' length, and it's evident early on. What a great steal moments ago by Glover. There's Walkup with the rebound. Wow. Boy, Steve, they can transition in a hurry.
Everything's going their way right now.
Strong
nice
drive.
cut to the basket. Yep. Good body control. Franklin's going to need a timeout.
Yep. Dee Spencer gets that timeout. We'll keep it here. Well, Steve, one of my favorite things is in life is you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Right. Wow.
And these I mean, we've seen the whole.
This is like that impression Logan or Barron County made the other night.
Yeah, and we've seen the transition, the unselfishness, the defense.
The length.
The length, yes. Yes. And we've seen it from all 5 starters so far. As, again, the Dragons, Coach Unsell's raved about his team's unselfishness. And your starting 5, Demarion Walkup, he goes by Mar, wears 0. Isaiah Villafuerte, he has an early hoop. Cade Unseld, number 4. Omari Glover, number 13, who made a very nice steal. And Chappelle Whitney, who wears number 21. 8-0, Dragons with the early lead. Now some full court pressure. Speeding up the Wildcats. Good defense, and there's Unseld with the rebound. Boy, they're fast, Steve. They are fast.
There's that rebounding difficulty.
Yep. Okay, Warren Central will maintain possession. We have as we do at all athletic events, we have a school resource officer here tonight. Want to salute them for they do the job they do, our school resource officers within the entire school district. Dragons have the ball up 8-0. And the three-pointer, yes, that's Isaiah Villafuerte. 11-0. My goodness, Steve. Also, the same 3-person officiating crew working the second game. Props to them as Franklin Simpson gets on the board. O.J. Gamble with the basket, and Franklin Simpson nearly comes up with the steal. Again, appreciate the effort of the officials. If you're interested in officiating, believe me, the schools would love to hear from you. They need officials in the worst way. And again, we really respect and appreciate the effort they make. It's such a hard job. Nice pass.
Good defense.
Yep, better defense. And there's the miss and the rebound by Walkup. And here's Glover. He's going to go to the line for a couple of free throws. Okay, Steve, I'm going to put you on the spot. We've been here for 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
Here comes another wave from Coach Unsell.
There you go. He's got 2 players coming in. He's
got three coming in.
He's got Caden Hammer. I saw him, number 15. Thank you.
Number 3 is coming in.
Number 3 that's Tavion Wells. And number 2, that's Malik Jefferson. Again, that's one thing. We're a little over 3 minutes into the game. Steve, you had to pick one player right now in the opening 3 minutes and 22 seconds who's impressed you most for Warren Central. You only get to pick one. Who would it be?
I don't know that I could. I mean, it's a track meet right now. And listen, they all look good.
Yeah. Good answer, Steve. A 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D.
Yeah.
It's 13-2. Warren Central leads. Nice pass.
First real breakdown in defense we've seen.
Yep. 3-point attempt by Tavion Wells. A little bit long, but they
Glad
get the
to see
rebound.
him follow his shot.
Yep. Glover, the Euro step. Another shot there, no good by Jefferson, but
Glover.
I'll tell you what, Steve, that's the player early on that's impressed me the most is Omari Glover. I think he's been, on a group of very active players, he's been the most active. Coming off a great football season. And he was honored between the third and fourth quarter of the girls' game tonight for his football season. Wonderful young man. Wonderful young man. Really appreciated the visit from Warren Central Athletic Director Jason Esters between games tonight. Steve, just out of curiosity, did you ever see George Fant play high school basketball at Warren Central or at WKU?
I did. I saw him play at WKU. I did not see him play at Warren Central.
See, he was already done here when I moved here. How good was he at WKU?
Oh, I mean, he was just a force.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He had the size. He had a lot of skill. You know, just a great talent. You know, but you know, again, you know what impresses you about George a lot of times is what he does off the field.
Oh,
you know.
he's that part, Steve. I've gotten to know him. You know, Steve, he runs, and his wife works with him on this too. They run the football and basketball camp.
Nice cut.
Free to all kids. Nice basket there by Tavion Wells. And you said it, Steve. He is just a prince of a gentleman. He is tremendous. Yeah. That camp, I mean, those kids, and George is out there, and he gets all of these instructors, and the kids just have a blast, and it's all free. It's just a great thing. One of the many great things he does. Of course, George started his NFL career with the Seattle Seahawks, and now he's with the New York Jets. As it's now 18-4, Warren Central. Right now, Warren Central has out there, they have number 3, Tavion Wells. They have number 2, Malik Jefferson. We have a travel. Thank you, Steve. They have Braylon Boards in there, so they've had 9 players in the game. And they have Caden Hammer. So William Unseld's already gone to 9 players in the game, and that's not a surprise.
So Franklin wants to put a little pressure on, but this is a hard team to press. Everybody can handle the ball, everybody's got length, and everybody's got quickness.
You know, Steve, I cannot imagine Hammer with the three-pointer. Good rebound there. Oh, my. Everything but going in. How hard that is to defend, Steve, when you have 5 players that can put the ball on the floor.
There you go, Mike. What is it?
Unselfishness.
Turnover.
Turnovers, yep. Basket by Braylon Boards, 20-4. You said it.
Franklin is not going to be able to turn the ball over tonight.
And we've, no surprise, we got some more substitutions coming in for Warren Central. I think that...
nice shot there by Franklin.
Yep. This is one, Steve, I'll be honest, I've got to check. I think there's a number 5 coming in. That's a shot attempt by Tavion Wells. No. We'll let you know who's checking in the game. Looks like there's 3 Dragons going to be checking in. 20-7, Warren Central leads. I'll tell you, Steve, Warren Central does a great job blocking out on the defensive boards. That's Demarion Walkup getting ready to check back in. He wears 0. Glover, nice.
Wow, nice spin move.
Ooh.
A little bit awkward on the shot, but nice move. A trap over there.
Looked like a walk, but that's actually legal. You can do that. Nice hustle there by Omari Glover. Tavion Wells with the ball. Caden Hammer, nice fake. Pass over to Boards. Glover. Every player has touched the ball on this possession, Steve. Here's the shot attempt by Wells. No. Didn't get his feet set underneath. And so Whitney is back in the game. Walkup is back in. Unseld back in. And Steve, who else is coming back in? Is it
Villaforte came in, didn't he?
He did. Yep, he did. Thank you. Yep, Isaiah Villaforte is back in, number 1. Yeah. All right, we're in the final minute of the first quarter. Really good start for the Dragons. Wildcats have come back nicely. They break the press there, get a basket. Nice catch there by Jefferson.
The pace has slowed down a little bit. You notice the scoring's dropped a little bit.
Ooh, good shot there. One thing that, and I like this, Steve, Coach Unseld is not a big proponent. Like if they have the ball with 45 seconds left, he doesn't like to hold the ball for a final shot, saying if you can get a good shot, take it. Case in point there, Cade Unseld got a good look down low, and he's shooting free throws.
Run your offense. Yep. When the shot presents itself, take it.
27 seconds left in the second quarter, or first quarter, I should say. Warren Central with a 21-9 lead. Unseld makes the second free throw.
If I'm Franklin, on the other hand, I might think about holding for the last shot.
They get the ball past half court, and that looks like what they're going to do.
Central's going to trap to try to force the issue.
That ball might have gone off Franklin Simpson. It did. So with 7.1 seconds left, the Dragons will get the final shot of the quarter.
Pretty sure that's not what Coach wanted out of his Franklin Wildcats. Turnover with enough time. Wow.
Wow.
That's definitely not what he wanted.
No. Chappelle Whitney ends the quarter with Warren Central at the hoop. It's 24-9 Dragons. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with more Dragons basketball on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School. Franklin Simpson, the opening hoop of the second quarter. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Three-point attempt by Isaiah Villafuerte, a little bit long, but the Dragons get the offensive rebound. That's Mar, or Demarion Walkup. Nice move in the lane. A little bit off the mark by Chappelle Whitney. Here come the Wildcats. Franklin Simpson has kind of weathered the storm a little bit and had a couple of baskets here. But the Dragons are still up 13. Nice three-pointer there. Jones with the tray, and it's 24-14. And Malik Jefferson about ready to check back in. Again, Coach Unseld will sub often, early and often. Wow.
What a turnaround. That's a pro move.
Wow. That was old school, Steve. I love it.
It was.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot.
You know, Steve, another thing I like about the Warren Central team, their players just play. You know, they're not showboating. You know, they're not talking a lot of trash to the opposing players. One, I don't think Coach Unseld would put up with it.
He would not have that.
No, but and I've noticed that since I've been here.
Oh,
wow. And you know the best part of that, Steve, that was a great catch by Whitney.
Right.
Great catch, and then he gets the layup. They just play.
Wonder how many times Cade Unseld did that turnaround jump shot in his driveway over the last 17 years.
We'll keep it here. It's a timeout. Probably in the seven-figure amount,
Yes.
Steve. Yeah. Good turnout tonight from Dragons Nation, as they're obviously excited about this team. Again, the team that went 29-4 last season advanced to the championship game of the Sweet 16 tournament, where they nearly won the whole thing. They were edged by 1 point by George Rogers Clark by a final of 43-42. As Jason Esther said, the one prominent player they lost from that team last year, and he was a good player, Jade Lawrence, but they returned the bulk of this team. And I'll tell you what, Steve, I can tell already a difference in Cade Unseld. He's developed his game even more. He was more of an outside spot-up shooter last year, but again, we talked about that drop step and the old school move. He's had an inside basket. He's had that. His game's more well-rounded. So Franklin Simpson will inbound the ball. Warren Central leads 28-14. 5:45 to go in the first half.
Not sure where Franklin player was going. He was dribbling into the pressure there.
You know, Steve, I'm glad you make that point as the Dragons get another basket. Malik Jefferson. If you can explain to me why a player would want to dribble into a double team and then pick up their dribble.
I want to say he was even dribbling into a triple team.
He might have been. You can. I'll tell you, you've got me because I can't figure that out. Fans want 3 seconds. They're going to get a travel. So Warren Central, we haven't even gotten to the halfway point. You know, the other thing is, Steve, I just looked at the scoreboard. I just realized this. You know how many fouls Warren Central's committed?
0.
Yes. So they've defended, and they've really, yeah. So Omari Glover with the ball. Between the first and second quarter, I want to congratulate a Warren Central boys soccer player. They had a wonderful season under their tremendous head coach, A.J. Ray. Kanasi Yaminda was honored by the 4th region, and he's a deserving winner. Wonderful young man.
A little surprised by Warren Central's lack of offensive rebounds so far in the game. They're getting a lot of defensive rebounds, but you would expect with their length to grab a lot more offensive rebounds.
I agree with you, and that has surprised me a little bit too. You're right, though. Defensively on the boards, they're taking care of business. Wow. Wow. Great pass, just couldn't get the finish. They're always looking up court, aren't they? Always looking up court. 4:10 to go in the first half. Warren Central High School leading
for the Wildcats, number 23.
Franklin Simpson 30-14 on Tim Riley Court.
Number 1, Gabe Jones, and number 10, Gavin Dickerson.
Look here, Steve. Our next look at the boys basketball team at Warren Central. I have to dig out the schedule.
It'll be after the first of the year.
It is, yeah. Our last live stream before the Christmas break. We'll be back here Friday for a girls basketball game. Warren Central will host South Warren. It'll be a 6 o'clock start. We've seen both teams, and once again, good defense there by the Dragons. And the block by Glover. Well, that's a block by Walkup, actually. That's Villafuerte. No.
Again, lack of offensive rebounds.
That has been a bit of a surprise. 30-14. Dragons lead the Wildcats. Warren Central comes in having won their first 4 games of the season, trying to go 5-0. And they might have missed a foul there as Cade Unseld was trying to get the defensive rebound. Good shot there. Jones with the shot. And what do we got here? Delay game? Nope. It looks like Walkup has to come out of the game for a moment. I don't know why.
Warren Central, number 3, Tay Wells. And for Franklin Simpson, number 4.
Wonder if he might have drawn blood. Anyway, Warren Central in the game right now has Omari Glover, Cade Unseld, Tavion Wells, Isaiah Villafuerte, and Malik Jefferson. I'll tell you what, Steve, my early thoughts on Malik Jefferson, number 2, you know, he's had some, he moves well. I think he's got some raw talent. He's just had a couple of times he can't finish, or he's had a hard time finishing around the rim. But he moves well, he defends, and I think he's got some real upside to his game. He's playing the front of that press, and here's Glover taking it up. There you go. He throws it down. Coach Unseld has confidence in Jefferson. He fronts that press. And here's Caden Hammer up to, oh boy, tried to alley-oop there. Gets it back, and the pass goes off of Wells out of bounds. And checking back in is Whitney. And it's 32-17. Warren Central leads Franklin Simpson. 2:25 to go in the second quarter. We're going to get an over and back call there. So Warren Central.
And for the Wildcats, number 10, Gavin Dickerson.
We've reached the 2:22 mark of the second quarter, Steve, and Warren Central has still not committed a foul. Franklin Simpson's only committed 3. Fast-moving first half.
They didn't commit a lot of fouls when we saw them at South Warren.
No, you're right. They did not. Unseld, the good spin move. Ooh.
Like to see him follow a shot instead of retreat from it.
Yep.
No, it's good to get back on defense, but.
Three-point attempt by the Wildcats. Good.
Three-point goal, number 4.
And they're back
sure
within
they like
12.
to get it within 10 or under for halftime.
Three-point attempt right there by Whitney. No good. They're going to get a
foul.
Yep, there's the first foul in the game on Warren Central. It's going to be an over-the-back on Wells. Again, we'll just run down the options. You can watch our live stream. You can go to PrepSpin, PrepSpin.com. This is the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Mike Cleff bringing you play-by-play. Steve Sanders bringing you analysis, running the camera. But we ad-lib tonight. Steve ran the laptop.
Nice.
I ran the camera. Caden Hammer with the steal. Nice follow there. No. Great effort by Warren Central. Everything but the ball going in the hoop. Dragons retain possession, and they'll inbound the ball. You can also go to PrepSpin has a Facebook and Twitter page. You can go there. You can also go to Roku and Fire Stick TV. Look for PrepSpin there. Cade Unseld with the move in the lane. And his shot is blocked. Franklin Simpson comes back up court. You can go to our website, warrencountyschools.org, or you can go to WBKO.com and go to the sports page and look for the PrepSpin link there. So many thanks to William Warfield, the outstanding CEO and co-owner of PrepSpin. Thanks to Steve Sanders. Thrilled to have him on board. Shot there, no good. Rebound by
with very
Wells.
few fouls. It makes for a quick going half.
Really is. I want to say, Steve, this half might have been only 25 minutes long so far.
I'd say that's about right. But,
Boy,
I mean, we've had 4 total fouls. Had a few turnovers, but 4 total fouls is a very clean game.
We have 32 seconds left to go in the first half. Jump shot there, no. Unseld with the rebound. Here come the Dragons. Glover, and that is going to be a
ball.
Yeah. So. And again, 22 seconds left here. And Warren Central will only hold to the last shot if they don't get a good shot early. If they get a good shot on this inbounds pass immediately, they'll take it. There's Glover, who's had a nice first half. Hammer, there's your 3. Yep. 14 seconds to go. Caden Hammer gives the Dragons a 15-point lead. And the steal by Villafuerte. Shot. No good as the first half ends. And a good first half for the Dragons as Warren Central leads 35-20 over Franklin Simpson. What do you think so far, Steve?
Well, it started out, the way it started out, I thought it might be more like 50-20. But got to give credit to Franklin. They weathered that early storm. They kept their composure, and the lead's 15 right now, but it's been down to 10. It's been at 12. We've seen Franklin shoot a lot better from the three-point line than we did last week, and if they sink a couple of three-pointers, they'll be right back in this game. Now, what you can't discount is the corrections of both coaches, the adjustment that both coaches will make at halftime. There's probably several things that Coach Unseld wants to get corrected. I would expect the offensive rebounds to be one of them.
And especially since you mentioned, Steve, it's definitely noticeable the advantage lengthwise that the Dragons have over the Wildcats. So, all right, we're at halftime. Warren Central leading Franklin Simpson 35-20. You're watching Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up.
Keep the rhythm going. Perfect.
Or get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School. You can see the shot that Steve Sanders has provided of the logo of Warren Central, home of the Dragons and the Lady Dragons. Franklin Simpson defeated Warren Central in tonight's first game 66-41. The second game, much different story. At halftime, Warren Central leads 35-20. In the background, you can hear the Warren Central band doing a great job in providing halftime entertainment. So, Steve, we bring you back in, and you mentioned, don't be surprised if Coach Unseld's telling them we got to do a better job on the offensive boards. But other than that, defensively, rebounding, everything else, they were impressive.
Right, on the defensive end, defensive rebounds, they were tough. Forced Franklin into a lot of three-pointers, which, they've hit more of tonight than they did the other night. So it's not the worst thing for them, but, in high school basketball, it's hard to win a game when you're only producing from the three-point line. You're going to live and die there sometimes, but, still with Warren Central's length, I'm sure Coach would like to see them challenge those three-point shots just a little bit more. You're talking about, and I'm just guessing, the average height on Franklin is 5'10", 5'11", versus average height that Warren Central is more in the 6'3", 6'4" range. That's a big difference. When you add in the arm length in there, and, you get a big difference. You can get 6-8 inches.
And, Steve, you mentioned the height. The one player on Warren Central who does not have length, who plays, is number 15, Caden Hammer, but yet
He hit a three-pointer right at the end.
He sure did. He does a nice job out there, and that's the one thing that of the many things I like about the Dragons. You always have 5 players out there who can handle the ball, and boy, that is such a nice asset to have.
Yeah, when they introduce them as 5 guards in the starting lineup, they're absolutely right. Any one of those guys can handle the ball. I think Coach just probably needs them to put a little more focus, put a little more effort on that offensive rebound, because they have missed some shots, and they're not getting very many second chances. And if they could shore up that part of their game, I would expect this spread to be a lot more.
Warren Central boys basketball, they have I mentioned, and Steve's right, our next live stream will be after the Christmas break. The bulk of their home games are late in the season. I want to say, I think most of their home games are in late January and early February. So we'll keep you posted on that schedule. We know this, our next live stream, it'll be the last one before the Christmas holidays. We'll be right back here, a girls game between Warren Central and South Warren.
We hit the ground running right after the first of the year, January the 3rd. I believe we're at Greenwood for a boy-girl doubleheader with Allen County Scottsville.
You're right about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, Steve, again, you've seen it. I've seen it. I've never been inside that locker room of Warren Central boys basketball, but more often than not, what Coach Unseld and his staff do at halftime, they always play better in the second half. Right. They make good adjustments. Whether his halftime talk is encouragement or sometimes he has to peel the paint.
They're adjusting something in there now because they're a little bit later than
they
Franklin coming out. So
yep,
I'm sure he's had some words of wisdom on some places they can make some improvements.
And I think you hit the nail right on that. Steve, I'll add something else. Is it just me, or were there several close-range shots that the Dragons missed?
Right.
And I think Coach Unseld knowing him, will attribute that to concentration, focus more. But I go back to what you said. You're right. Offensive rebounding and getting on the offensive boards when you mentioned the height and the length advantage that Warren Central has. So, and they're still not out here for the second half. So, you're right. This is going to be very interesting. So anyway, we'll take one more break. We'll be back with the second half. Warren Central leads Franklin Simpson at halftime, 35-20. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up?
Keep the rhythm going. Perfect.
Or get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School. You hear the buzzer go off for the start of the second half, and Steve, I think that's the latest I've ever seen a head coach come out of the locker room. William Umseld just getting here. In fact, the Dragons, I don't even think did any layups or shots to.
No, I think they grabbed some basketballs and then put them right back.
All right, we're about ready to start. Franklin Simpson will start the second half with the ball as the Dragons have a 15-point halftime lead, and we're underway here in the third quarter. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Thanks again to the awesome hospitality extended by Principal Joey Norman and Athletic Director Jason Esters. Tough shot there, good defense, and there's Omari Glover with the rebound. He gets the ball out to Isaiah Villafuerte. That's Demarion Walkup, I should say. That shot's blocked. Nice defense by the Wildcats. Wow. That was actually decent defense, Steve. That was a tough shot. Jones has had a nice game for the Wildcats. And now the Wildcats have a chance to cut the deficit to 10 or perhaps 9. Jones wanted to go up with that shot. He does a runner in the lane. Jones, number one, Steve's having a nice game for Franklin Simpson. It's a 10-point game. And Coach Unseld's going to call a timeout. It'll be a 30. We'll keep it here.
30-second timeout challenge for Warren Central.
Coach Unseld. Steve, kind of interesting. He's staying seated. What do you think that's about, Steve?
He's sending a message to him, I would say.
Yeah.
They probably don't want to hear what he has to say. They're getting the message right there.
Yep. His assistant coach, his trusted assistant, is out there. Well, Steve, I'll tell you what, and this is why he's a really good coach. You look at the scoreboard at halftime, they're up at 15. But it's clear he's not happy with how they're playing.
I'd say he's giving them some nonverbal messages right now, Mike.
And Steve, you know how often he's up out of his seat. He didn't even get up there. Yeah. So here we go.
I think he may feel like his team probably still has command of the game, but, you know, they need to clean up the sloppiness.
Yes. You're right.
There
nice pass there.
Good ball movement.
Basket by Chappelle Whitney.
He's having a nice game.
He's given him a lot of energy. Chappelle Whitney wears number 21. Rebound by Whitney, who Steve just mentioned, the nice game he's been having. This is Villafuerte over to Unseld. Good shot there, three-pointer. And Unseld's three extends the lead back to 15.
I think those nonverbals worked.
I think you're right. Some good defense there. The rebound by Tavion Wells. Unseld over to Villafuerte. Wells back to Villafuerte. And I think.
Looks like a foul on Franklin.
Yep. Honestly, I think the Wildcats defender bailed him out. Villafuerte left his feet. Well, and Steve, you know, you and I are looking at this Dragons team different than Coach Unseld. I mean, this is December 13th, and, you know, he's looking at this team not wanting to play their best tonight, but improving. And the biggest thing is, as Unseld's three is off the mark.
That was Steph Curry range, but good steal. Good put back.
Wells with the basket. The big thing he wants them to stay out of is complacency and bad habits. 42-25, Warren Central leading. Warren Central as they normally do, plays a man-to-man. We have 4:51 to go in the third quarter in a fast-moving game. Only one foul here in the second half. Neither team. That young man, that's a contested three. I'll tell you what, Steve, you got to give the Wildcats credit. They have hit some threes tonight.
They're not going away.
No. 14-point lead for the home team, Dragons.
You know, they clawed back against South Warren. You know, they didn't quit.
Nice.
Nice shot. Get the chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
You know what, Steve? I thought that Omari Glover had the best first half for Warren Central, but Chappelle Whitney was close behind. And no doubt here early in the third quarter, Whitney has been Warren Central's best player.
Right.
Good three-point play. He's got a nice game. Where's number 21? This is close to a 10-second call. They barely got it past half court. And that's exactly what you want.
Take care of it.
Yep. That's what you want the press to do. 45-28, Warren Central leads. Whitney gets it back to Villafuerte. Unseld over to Wells. There's Glover. Whitney, nice pass. What a shot.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Unseld had his back to the basket and flipped it up there. 47-28, nicely done.
Sure, Coach is pleased with that, but when they get home, he might ask what his intention was there.
Good point, yes. As they get the rebound and the putback, and no good, and there's Glover with the rebound. Villafuerte gets it out to Whitney. Unseld. Glover. Nice pass to Unseld. Hoop. It's 49-28. Dragons now up 21. You know, Steve, I'll borrow the phrase from the basketball analyst Clark Kellogg, spurtability. Warren Central is outstanding in that department.
Active hands.
Yep. And the ball is going to go Warren Central's way as Caden Hammer checks in, as does Malik Jefferson. Whitney checks out, as does Villafuerte.
Franklin Simpson, number 24. Kohler Sharon, number 5. Matthias Dickerson.
Also coming in, Braylon Boards. So right now, Warren Central has out there Caden Hammer, number 15. Omari Glover, number 13. Cade Unseld, number 4. Malik Jefferson, number 2. And Braylon Boards, number 25. Dragons, Coach Unseld's played 10 players tonight. Nice pass.
Cut to the basket.
Yep.
But we're still coming back to those offensive rebounds.
Yep.
While they're in control of the game, you know, there may be a game down the road where they're not, and those lack of offensive rebounds could hurt them.
And again, with the size advantage, the length and the height they have over Franklin Simpson, the point's a valid one that they should be getting, following up on some of these misses. Franklin Simpson retains possession after they get the foul called on the fouls against Jefferson. It's only the Dragons' first foul of the third quarter. We have 2:37 to go. Warren Central leading 49-28. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Thanks to our very supportive bosses, Superintendent Rob Clayton, Chief Operations Officer Jason Cupcella, and Chief Financial Officer Chris McIntyre. As the Wildcats will try that shot in the lane. No. Unseld gets the loose ball, brings it up court. Dragons a very unselfish team. They very unselfish team, as Chappelle Whitney will check back in for Cade Unseld. As the Wildcats will have possession here. Well, Steve, that was the 32nd timeout that Coach Unseld took. It was a 10-point game at that time. Now it's 21. What did you say, the nonverbal communication?
Yeah, I think the nonverbal communication worked.
Yeah.
Don't know if I've ever seen a timeout quite like that, where the coach never even got up.
Yep. Warren Central gets the turnover off the press. Hammer. Inside to Jefferson. Villafuerte. And they're going to call the foul there on Franklin Simpson. I think it was a shove.
Now charge to Franklin Simpson, number 5, Matthias Dickerson. His first, team's third. And for Franklin Simpson, number 23, O.J. Gamble.
So the Dragons will inbound. That's the third team foul on the Wildcats in the second half. The inbounds goes to Whitney. There you go. Now that was a good effort by Whitney to follow his shot. And Warren Central gets to keep possession. 49-28. Warren Central leading Franklin Simpson. 1:36 to go in the third quarter. Villafuerte will try a three. A little bit on the long side. And the Wildcats have the rebound. And I think they're going to get Warren Central with a foul there before the shot.
Foul charge to Warren Central, number 25, Braylon Boards, his first, team second. And for Warren Central, number 4, Cade Unseld.
Cade Unseld comes back in and checks in for Braylon Boards. So Villafuerte thought about trying to go for that steal off the inbounds pass. We're nearing the 1 minute mark left here in the third quarter. Caden Hammer, who's given Coach Unseld some nice minutes in this game. Whitney will try the three. No. I think they're going to get Jefferson over the back there.
Foul charge to Warren Central, number 2, Malik Jefferson.
So Franklin Simpson,
the second, team's third.
with 51.3 seconds left,
Sam Myler, number 24,
will inbound the ball. And a nice defensive play there by Villafuerte, knocks the ball out of bounds. Wildcats will retain possession. Close to a 5-second call, Steve, and there's Hammer with the steal. Nice pass to Whitney. I'll tell you what, Steve, he's not a star player, but this Caden Hammer, number 15, does a nice job off the bench.
Great contributions tonight.
Yep.
And he's gotten quite a bit of playing time.
He just seems to play within himself, and he makes very good decisions. There you go again. Nice job, Caden Hammer. Like right there, Steve, he goes to his opposite hand to shield the defender. 53-28. Three-point attempt, no. Whitney with the rebound gets it up to Villafuerte, and he goes in for the layup. Good sportsmanship by Franklin Simpson to help up Villafuerte. Franklin Simpson, Warren Central finishes the third quarter strong.
Right.
And
what a flurry there at the end.
Yeah. And because of that, it's 55-28. Dragons leading the Wildcats. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back here watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School. The Dragons finished the third quarter strong, and they lead Franklin Simpson 55-28. Steve, during the timeout, very interesting. Coach Unseld stayed seated the entire time. I don't think I've ever seen that with him.
Listen, he's got them going right at the end of that quarter. They were in cruise control.
Yeah.
He may have been thinking there wasn't much for him to say. Just, what's the old phrase? Shut up and get out of the way.
Yeah, I like that. Strong move by Unseld.
Nice offensive rebound.
There you go. Unseld followed a shot, gets the hoop. It's 57-28. As Franklin Simpson follows their miss. Three-pointer by Jones.
3-point goal, number 1, Gabe Jones.
Gabe Jones has been the Wildcats' best player tonight, as that shot attempt by Villafuerte is blocked. We're in the first minute of the fourth quarter. Warren Central leading Franklin Simpson 57-31. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. Nice pass there. And
Goal by 10.
Franklin's not going to go away.
Nope. As with normally the case with a D. Spencer coach team, Franklin Simpson always gives great effort. There's Jones again. And Omari Glover with the rebound. He gets it over to Villafuerte. Unseld with the ball out front, gets it to Villafuerte. He takes it up and the layup, and that's nicely done.
Very quick first step there.
59-33.
You saw just a sliver of an opening, and he was through it.
Good defense again. I think they're going to get Glover on the foul. We have a Franklin Simpson player down, but I think he's okay. Good to see him get up.
Foul charge of Warren Central, number 13, Omari Glover. His first, team's fourth.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve. We don't have access to Coach Unseld at halftime, but I would have been the fly on the wall in that locker room at halftime. Franklin Simpson will inbound the ball. 5:56 to go. And the Dragons with a 59-33 lead over the Wildcats. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Thank you to our sponsors, Med Center Health, Minky Beef Jerky, and UK Health. I think they're going to get Malik Jefferson with the foul. 15 foul of the half for Warren Central. Franklin Simpson's committed 3. And there's Unseld looking up court, gets the ball, but he was looking for Whitney, but Franklin Simpson gets the steal as the pass was a little bit short. Nice pass, and the shot doesn't go. Wildcats hustling after those second and third chances. As we've hit the 5-minute mark in the game. (59-33). Now it's 59-36.
Steph Curry range.
Yes. That one came from Butler County. Nice move right there by Jefferson. And the lay-in. 61-36. The good guys leading. Good defense there by Glover. Gets it up to Whitney. Whitney is going to, oh no. Whitney tried to dunk the ball, and
oh, you know he's going to hear about that tomorrow at school.
I think you're right. It didn't work out.
Somebody had a cell phone on that one.
Yep. And so Franklin Simpson will get the ball. He was off balance when he left his feet. The result was obviously not what Whitney wanted. Good effort there, though, by Whitney. Good pass by Glover. Here's Unseld. And
well, strike two.
Yep. Unseld sticks after it, but they say that tip-in was before the shot. So he's gonna, what are they gonna call here? 2 shots? Yeah, 2 free throws.
Second, team's fourth.
Steve, I'll tell you what, this is my 7th season covering high school basketball in this area. I've covered a lot of Warren Central boys basketball games, and I don't think I've ever seen a half where William Unseld has been in his seat.
Yeah,
I've never seen this. Unseld connects on both free throws. It's 63-36. And the shot no good, and Unseld. Whitney, the pass over to Jefferson. Back to Unseld. He takes it in the lane, and the layup is good. So the Dragons' lead is now 29. Our next live stream, we'll be right back in here 3 nights from now for the Warren Central girls basketball team hosting South Warren. It'll be our second look at Warren Central. Lady Dragons played hard in tonight's first game, but Franklin Simpson girls team played a very, very good game, and they defeated Warren Central 66-41. We've seen head coach Lane Embry and the South Warren Lady Spartans twice, and they've won both times, defeating Apollo and then defeating these Franklin Simpson Lady Wildcats in a double overtime thriller. Cade Unseld, 3-point attempt is no good. And we're going to get a sub in here. Braylon Boards is going to check in for Cade Unseld. Steve, I'm going to ask you to put on your prognosticator thinking cap. What do you think Coach Unseld's going to say in the locker room to his players after the game?
I think he just said something to Cade right there about that shot he took.
Okay.
I was watching him as Cade was coming off. Notice he got a quick substitution before play started. And, you know, everybody has tough shots that they take. It wasn't anything bad, but you could tell that he was thinking about that shot that his son just took.
His first, team 6th.
You know, Coach Unseld he downplays it, but make no mistake about it. In any sport on the high school level, coaching your son and daughter is a unique and an often challenging experience. Right. It is not easy. So hats off to Coach Unseld. Now, obviously, his son's a very coachable player.
Right. He has quite a bit of talent and very coachable. So I would say Coach Unseld enjoys it most all of the time. But
we have just over 2.5 minutes to go in the game. The Dragons are going to win this one comfortably. They're up 65-38. As Warren Central will move to 5-0 on this young season. Excuse me. Also want to thank Assistant Athletic Director Dustin Gentili for the hospitality, as Franklin Simpson corrals the miss. And they're going to get a foul on Jefferson. So got some more substitutions coming in. Abdi Kim Dahir checking in for Warren Central. He'll see his first action of the game. As will Jarek Kirk. He wears number 12. Abdi Kim Dahir wears number 24. So besides those two, they also have Tavion Wells out there, Braylon Boards, and Caden Hammer. And I'll say it again, Steve, Caden Hammer, number 15, he did a nice job off the bench tonight for Coach Unseld.
He did.
Okay, we're under 2 minutes, 65-38, Dragons leading.
Contributed in a lot of different ways.
There's the drive and the hoop by Wells. Nicely done. It's 67-38. Warren Central leading. Again, our next live stream will be 3 nights from now, 6 o'clock, girls game, right here at Tim Riley Court. The Lady Dragons of Warren Central hosting the Lady Spartans of South Warren. And there's another steal for Caden Hammer. And he takes it up, and they're going to get a foul. He'll go to the line for free throws. Well, Steve, I know we're a minute 21 from this game ending, but just your opening night thoughts seeing the Dragons for the first time. What do you think of this team?
It's exciting. They've got a lot of upside.
Yep.
You know, like any team this early in the season, they got several things they got to work on, but you know, it's been a pretty convincing win tonight. You know, Franklin Simpson is a good ball squad. They've done a lot of good things tonight. Shot a lot better, but you know, Warren Central is going to be a challenge for most any team that plays them this season.
Hammer hits the second free throw. It's a 30-point lead for Warren Central with a minute 12 to go in the contest. I'll echo what Steve just said.
Warren Central is getting off on the run, but
and
it'd
again,
be better if the referee hands the ball to him.
And again, I don't want to emphasize, I don't want to make it sound like Coach Unseld is being grumpy. It's not that.
Oh, no.
He's coaching. He's wanting his team to get better. And, Steve and I, even though we're broadcasters, we're also fans. And so we get to look at the game in a different perspective. That was a nice pass.
Didn't get it to drop.
Yeah. So, one thing Coach Unseld, he's very positive in his public comments about his players. And, but again, he's coaching them, and he doesn't want them playing on March 1st like they're playing on December 13th. So we're well under a minute. We have 41 seconds left. 3-point attempt there by Jarek Kirk is no good. So Franklin Simpson will get the ball.
Foul charge of Warren Central number 23, Johan Pratt.
Thank you again to Principal Joey Norman and Athletic Director Jason Esters for their hospitality. And Jason joined us for a chat between the girls and the boys game tonight. Appreciate that. Also, congratulations. Omari Glover was honored during a timeout in the girls game for his outstanding football season, and during a timeout in the boys game, boys soccer player Kanasi Uminda was honored for his season. So it's 68-40. 30 seconds left to go in the game, as Warren Central will go to 5-0. And they're going to get a foul there. I think they're going to get an over the back. So
Foul charge of 24.
Franklin Simpson's in the double bonus, and they'll be shooting free throws.
First, team's 10th. Phillips at the line.
Free throw is no good. Steve, we've had an interesting night, haven't we?
We have. It's been a very good game. Warren Central looks strong. The last minute of the game's probably lasted longer than the first 7 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Number 23, Johan Pratt, is second.
Also, Johan Pratt, number 23, is checked into the game for Warren Central. So good to see him getting some game experience here. As both free throws rim out, it's 68-40 Warren Central. And that's a shot by Braylon Boards, and Braylon Boards hits the three. And we'll see if those are the last points of the game. No. The Wildcats bank over
Doors
3.
to the bank are open.
Yeah. And that's how it's going to end as Warren Central moves to 5-0 on the season. They defeat Franklin Simpson by a final of 71-43. As the Dragons go to 5-0 on the season. Steve, again, Coach Unseld will definitely say we got to work on this, but on the whole, a lot of positives, and yet there's a couple of things you can take away and say we got to fine-tune that. Would you agree?
It is. There are, but you know what we've been saying at the end of the night, Mike. It's a win.
That's right. The Dragons have 5 of them. Well, Steve, I know that you had to do a lot of improvising tonight. Really appreciate it. And we really appreciate we had some audio issues during our first game tonight. Steve worked very hard. A big assist to Laura Sanders. And I'm sure that Laura's going to be getting some rest here soon because she's got to handle some very enthusiastic kindergarten students in the morning.
She does. She has 3 more days this week. And she loves her kids, but I think she's ready for a vacation day coming next week.
All right. Steve, enjoyed it. I know, again, there was some adversity tonight, but thank you for your efforts to get through it. And we'll see you again on Friday.
All right.
Okay, that'll do it tonight from Warren Central High School, where the girls' game was won by Franklin Simpson, 66-41. The boys' game was won by Warren Central by a final of 71-43. Our next live stream will be Friday night here at Warren Central. Girls basketball between the Lady Dragons of Warren Central and the Lady Spartans of South Warren. For Steve Sanders, I'm Mike Cleff with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. On behalf of PrepSpin, as always, we thank you very much for joining us. Have a great night. Be safe.